Hey, Daniel.
Hey, I'm making you the host this time.
How are you? Hey, Marco. Hey, Ashutosh. Oh, you're OBS in it as well. Been trying to master it earlier on, Daniel, so that I can easily switch between my desktop and different applications using OBS without having to share my 50-inch wide screen in Hull.
Nice.
I'm hoping at least Donald's going to join us from the project management team. Maybe Gabe as well. Looks like Nick is out of office. Just give him a couple of minutes. Very busy because he's in a meeting. It's also 7:30 in the morning for him, so maybe just running a few minutes late. And in Donald's absence, potentially what I might do while we wait is jump into the issues list and myself explore the quick wins and seeking community contributions to see what we think of the health of that list and if we agree with them as being quick wins. I'm not going to attempt to tell you what the project management team is responsible for.
Did you want me to try to reach out to anyone on the team Slack and see if any of them are available?
I've just pinged on the project management group channel on there, so hopefully, as I say, it looks like it was possibly only going to be Donald anyway, and it's 7:30 his time in the morning, so it might be that he's running a little bit late. Gabe's in another meeting, but I've included him on the ping, and then Nick's out of office, I think. But if there's anyone else that you think of or whatever, feel free to give them a nudge. But yeah, let me try sharing my screen if my solution I was talking about earlier works. No, I don't want me to do that because I'm using Zoom. Ignore me. Share screen. Participants. Share. Yeah, that looks good. Hopefully, you can see. Right. So what I was going to do is take a look at seeking community contributions. We've got 11, so it's quite a small list of of issues to work through. And should I start at the top or deliberately try and avoid any of them? Let's start at the top. Although, no, actually, sorry, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go for quick win rather than seeking community.
I was going to suggest a quick win and to tell our wider community that I've been trying to express that quick win is a good label to add for this, the searches to try to narrow it down.
Especially as and think we're yet to fully determine the path forward, but seeking community contribution, I know we'd quite like to almost get rid of that and say that, well, every issue that's open is seeking community contribution, whether that be the community to move it forward and help us to put a plan in place or help to put designs together. There should really be very little differentiating something that's seeking contribution from team members versus seeking contribution from the community. So let's just pick the first one and see if immediately I'm baffled, which I shouldn't be, because if it's got a quick win on it, I would expect it to be, unless it's completely outside of my realm of understanding, like if it was a Gitly or Golang thing or something with a language I don't know, I should be able to pick this up and say, right, I understand this and I can potentially work on it. So full path resolver. Full path provides an inaccurate description. Shared resolver prevents argument full path. So my familiarity with resolvers, I think they're a GraphQL thing. It's yes, and it's got the GraphQL and the API labels. So I guess I should have used that to give me a bit of a hint. So good thing about that, I think that gives us some additional context. So if somebody says, I don't know GraphQL, or I'm looking for a front end change, then immediately this helps. Maybe we could add the back end label to it as well. So that's helpful to point us in the right direction. So that's the file that we're going to be looking at. Prepends the argument full path, but the description used is overly generic, causing the API docs to be inaccurate. Awesome, yeah. So question is, do we just say we agree that this is a quick win? Or do we dig a little bit deeper? Or do we actually crack on and start pairing and having a look if we can actually do it? So description should be specific to the resolver. Okay, cool. I think we start by at least digging a little bit more.
Real quickly, was there any discussion in the issue at all, or was there no discussion?
Great question. Thanks, Daniel. There is somebody. Oh, somebody's actually assigned from 1 month ago. So it's worth us just doing a little ping to say. So based on that, I might say that we skip over this and move on to the next one. Again, I think that we're trying to encourage collaboration, and we want to say just because there's somebody else assigned doesn't mean you shouldn't work on something. But in this instance, I think the session will be more interesting if we were able to look through more issues. This is a very interesting one because we have Marco watching in the shadows, and I know this is something that Marco's been working on and something that I've been working on. So I hope that we'll be able to say, yes, this is a reasonably quick win. Yeah, so here's an MR which introduced a new time tracking report, and there's a video for people to be able to see what that time tracking report looks like, what it does. But part of that merge request didn't add, so we've got some documentation changes here, this markdown file, but this is the self-documenting GraphQL API docs. but there's no changes to the underlying GitLab. Just search for that, and stupidly it was already written on the issue, so I didn't even need to Google it because it's already I've done my best to flesh out the way I think we should approach it. So I think there's enough info on there to oh, and again we've got someone assigned to this one. So don't let this prevent again anyone from picking it up, but let's just say I wonder if we may change even that process going forwards to maybe not assign. I don't know. You don't want two people working on exactly the same quick win at the same time and duping up effort. But at the same time, if it prevents people from working on it, maybe it's not the ideal. Oh, there might be an MR up. I should have looked even harder, shouldn't I? Okay, so it's been marked as ready. Marco's had a look, made some suggestions. So it looks like since the suggestions were made May the 6th, 29, Martin applied a suggestion, but I think it looks like we're still probably waiting for the for the comments on the MR to be actioned. So where are we? So maybe I can cheat and say lovely.
Lee, I dropped one into the chat if you want to take a look, because
Yeah, of course.
the assignees are Marco and Ashutosh. So I don't know if it's something they have started or not, or if they would want to, but we know that it's not taken by anyone outside of this call.
Awesome. Okay, so quick win, and we're saying, is there reasonable maximum here? Should we anticipate that? So is there an MR? That's just the original MR, but there's nothing to actually to work on this. So looking. So Ashutosh, would you like to I'll say that. Is it the same Ashutosh? I don't actually know because it doesn't say your surname.
My apologies there.
No, I would have jumped to the same conclusion, but I'm not sure if you're just listening in chat. Oh yeah, I'm a different. sorry, you are a different. I have an issue. So someone else is working on that. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. In fact, I might, because there's no MR in this instance, I might go with bias for action and say unassign. Can I unassign everyone?
I think at 3 months with no MR attached, we can take that bias for action, Lee, yeah.
absolutely. I'll look at that issue just in a moment. Right, so get rid of that one, get rid of that one. I might want to keep this one to go back to our list of quick wins. So this is a quick win. Okay, it's an EP one. So I'm going to stick to, unless it just happens, it's project management. Aspect order to do. I don't think this is any specific departmental one. So maybe we can drop this in the Discord. Daniel, would you mind doing that for me just while I'm sort of driving? Just drop this issue that Ashutosh dropped into the chat, drop that in Discord into the contribute channel, and maybe ask if someone could help out with that bit later on.
Yeah, I'll do that. Thanks.
I'll try and continue going through project management ones and still hope that maybe someone will jump on in a minute.
And Ashutosh, the only reason we wouldn't pick this up now is just because for this specific event, we're trying to look at project management teams issues. Otherwise, we'd be happy to help.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can spin up an ad hoc coding parent session, whatever, later or tomorrow. Okay, refactor. So we've these are actually two different ones. So I think we just looked at this one. Didn't look at this one. Front discussion should be addressed. So good. This has got a specific front end label. Should this read locked? Shouldn't this read locked? It currently reads. Link to the comment. That should link to the comment. Yes. Yeah, so it currently says open. But that's how it used to look. So I guess my only question about that being a quick win. All issuable status descriptions will reside in, so we can consider the various places where they're used. It feels like a bit of an open one to me, if that makes, you know what I mean? It requires some discussion and thought and digging into the code base. How do you feel about that being a quick win, Daniel?
Sorry, I was dropping the other thing in the Discord.
No, that's all right. So
is the concern that we get started on this and then we get blocked because there hasn't been a certain discussion?
Yeah, I don't know. I suppose someone might do, but the good thing about it is it's not even a one-line change, it's a one-word change. It's real simple. So the argument could be spin up the MR, and I know we said this before, that merge request is as good, if not sometimes a better place to hold a conversation than an issue. It really shows you're kind of, I don't know, motivated to kind of put in that code, making it happen. But yeah, this is very much a question. So the feedback was on an original MR that Marco authored, and Paul made the kind of suggestion. But essentially, there's something slightly confusing where we've got a constant defined for locked, and the value is actually open, where we would kind of expect open to be open. Again, this kind of shows you that maybe it shouldn't be locked. Maybe it should, maybe this is correct, because open is open, reopened is open, merged is merged. So, you know, I think that there's 2 or 3 statuses that maybe all we want to see is whether it's open or closed, but obviously merged isn't quite right. So yeah, it's more of a conversation that needs to happen here, and somebody needs to say, oh, it's used in this place, and this place. You know, is this the behavior we want? for it to show open, or would we prefer or be happy for it to say locked? So we probably need like UX or designer or the product team to make that decision. But a community member could definitely drive the conversation. So yeah, it's whether we consider that a quick win or not.
I think it's a quick win. I think,
Awesome.
and I think getting the MR started would allow that to
Speed up
then have
the
that conversation. I think as long as it's staying in this issue, that conversation is clearly not going to happen. So unless we start pinging everybody into the issue, but I'd rather make an MR and then ping the right people into the MR.
Perfect. Now, follow up from ad. Following discussion.
Oh, and I see in the chat here, Ashutosh has pointed out a reply to you. So one of the assignees you had asked would still like to do this with assistance.
Cool. Okay. Okay.
I wonder if they would hop on the call.
Yeah. Maybe. Where did what was the chances are probably be a bit too late. Can't do it. That was a very quick response. So yeah, I'm unsure about with this issue. I agree that it's a quick win, but I'm just not sure how clear it is. And should someone have to dig into this link and this conversation to understand what needs to be done? We generally say with the seeking community contribution ones that we kind of need an implementation plan, or at least I feel like there should be a description of what do I need to do to work on this. So could we've discussed it, so should we just add a note to sort of beef this description up maybe just a tiny bit to explain that yes, this is the following discussion that needs addressing, but should we be saying currently multiple statuses, and we could sort of say like open, reopened, locked, etc. All rendered as open. These is that sound fair, or
Yeah, I think that's good. I found another issue with no one assigned to it, but it's 2 years old.
no, that's great. I like, again, looking at old ones, because we might say that's not relevant anymore, or it's been fixed, or whatever. So ah. Hello. Reopen your issue in just a second. We just moved on to jumping on another one real quick, but we'll go back to yours in a moment. Right, issuable view mixins. We're currently migrating away from using mixins because on mixin tab 2 composition API is coming in view 3. Relevant section, right, great. So we've got some docs, problem solved, replace this with suitable alternatives. Okay, so I'm going to start by having a look how big this is. That's not so bad, not so bad. I know some of them can be quite hairy and quite big, but that doesn't look too bad. Suitable alternatives. So let's have a look. Okay. So this project archived. Yeah. Statement. So this is where it's used, is it? It should state. Okay, so replace it. Doesn't even look like we're necessarily using, so we are using that. So go back to the issue real quick. Suitable alternatives. That's what I'm a little bit. So that links to the discussion locked widget. So let's just see what these three things. So this is a comment form, discussion locked widget. So I don't think that this link is supposed to be a suitable alternative. I think this is maybe just one of the places in which it's being used. So maybe I should update this to sort of say, place out that with alternatives in the following places, maybe, and list. Clearly these might get outdated, but
we might have an example in the, this is a follow-up to that merge request 36773. I'm just trying to see if they were, it looks like they did remove some mixins there.
oh, cool.
I don't know if that is their example of what they're looking for or not.
This one here. So sort of see how was that mixin removed? What was the alternative? Not seeing the mixin that was removed. Or was it a follow-up? Just reread this. It's a direct one. Am I looking at the right issue? Sorry, Daniel.
Yeah, click that again.
Go directly to the comment.
Yeah.
So this is where this was flagged and they created the issue off the back of this problem. This isn't a solving of the problem, if that's what. Do you follow?
So they removed the mixin here, but we don't know how this is working without it.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. No, you're right. Yeah. So, okay. Yep. No, you're right. It was removed from here. Yep. Yep. No, sorry. You're totally right. It was removed. I was expecting the mixing to have been removed, as in deleted, but it's no longer being used in that one place. And that one place was in, scroll down for me, please. In edit form.view and edit form.view. Was it not even using? There's a possibility that it wasn't using anything, because the only thing, yeah, I can't see any references in here that have been removed. It looks like this mixing might have been imported and not actually used. So I don't think it gives us this is a good way of removing a mixing.
Right, this might just be, it was removed and there was no alternative.
Well, yeah, yeah, I think it would just no longer actually wasn't needed in here in the first place. But I could be wrong.
Right, whereas the issue we're coming from was looking to replace the mix-ins with an alternative.
Oh, here's a draft MR. Ah, but it's empty, so we can't see any. But then if we go back to our issue, maybe I should ping and say, that's good. Just going to read these because I should have checked these. X. Do not use mix-ins unless absolute. Recommended alternative approach. Named or scoped slots. Also use slots or scoped slots to achieve the same thing we did with mix-ins. You only need an E component. There is weirdly, that's not what I understand this mixing is being used for. It's not for a different behavior between E and C code base. It just looks like it's a way of sharing code between multiple view components. And maybe grabbing them from the Vuex store, which I'm really hazy on how that all works. So I personally don't think I could approach like an MR to resolve this issue or without a reasonable amount of conversation. So I think I'm going to remove the quick win label and I'm going to ping the author and say, That'll do. Right, okay. Let's get back to hello, hello, and it was this one. So did you have a specific question, or do you want me to just start talking it through and sort of see what I think needs to happen and how we might be able to do it? I will start talking it through, and feel free to pop in the chat or shout if you've got any specific questions. So where we got to a minute ago when we started looking at this issue was fortunately, or not fortunately, but I happen to know immediately resolvers I know are a GraphQL concept. Unfortunately, the labels, the GraphQL and API labels kind of reinforce that. So I don't think there's a path mentioned here, but just by looking for full path resolver, get rid of all this rubbish, we're able to find the file, the module that we're talking about, and it's saying, yeah, that inaccurate description. So GraphQL is really cool. You run a command and it goes through all of the resolvers and types, mutations, all the kind of external APIs, and it does create a documentation automatically based on these descriptions. Cool. Yeah. So GraphQL much more powerful in my opinion, at least, than the REST API. You can be more specific about which fields you want, and you can essentially do like joins and relational queries to rather than just saying, give me a merge request or give me a user, or you can say, give me a user and their merge requests and their issues and a bit more information. So that's cool. But yeah, it's self-documenting. There's a command, compile docs, that will compile the GraphQL docs. So that's going to do nothing at the moment. But if I sort of have a go at making a change, then I'll see, we'll hopefully see it reflected. So our problem at the moment is we don't like this being vague. Full path of the project, group, or namespace. So depends on the argument. The description uses overly generic. The description of full path should be specific to the resolver. So question is, can we do that? So I don't recall having in the past done anything QL in that sort of dynamic expecting to have some kind of interpolation type thing. Do I need to escape a hash? An if statement, maybe. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Yeah, we do have some with interpolation. So job spreadsheet. Doesn't look like a great example to me. So I'm going to try a complete stab in the dark just to start off. So I know that the current Is that going to work? They explode, but while we're looking for other examples, but that's what I think we need to do. Somehow we need to interpolate, we need to know where is this concern being used, where is it being sort of included. Yeah, there's a surprise object. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if there's some kind of parent type. There's target type. Okay. Marco's had a good idea, suggesting that this is probably defined in each place that this group issuable resolver is extended. So if we find everything that extends group issuable, so this one here, then yeah, you've got this issuable collection name is merge requests. So that could be one way of doing it. So let's just have a look at the full path resolver where it's used. So if we did something similar, just closed what I wanted, didn't I? Yeah, Marco's also suggesting letting the class that's using it define the description, but I suspect, can we do that without like redefining the whole field, which seems kind of counterintuitive if you were. Let me just, I'm going to open this one, and this one. So we've got the 3 places it's being used. And then look at this one. So if in each of these places we what we're going to call it, that's probably a terrible idea, but let's try it. And now, again, great opportunity here would be probably throw up an MR and a good place to discuss further. But I think there probably are 2 or 3 solutions. Did that explode as well? Undefined local variable method. So why can that not find target type? So issuable collection name. Is it because these are using include and this is using prepend? Maybe. Whether that fixes that issue. Daniel, your Ruby is probably better than mine. Care to?
It's been a while on that one. What's your output now?
Ashutosh has made exactly the same suggestion as what we're just trying, or probably beat me to it. So let's see if that. Nope, still doesn't like it. all I can assume is that the prepend, so what if we do just change it to an include? Is that going to work? Know what the difference between, again, maybe someone more knowledgeable than me could help us understand when one might be used versus the other one. The other thing is, yeah, we've got this type defined, so we should possibly be able to get at that somehow. Hey, it compiled, and if we look at the diff, okay, that's not cool. Doesn't appear to have, by including it, it hasn't actually, it's just removed it. It obviously doesn't combine the things like I expected it to. It's because we've got this prepend do. Can I just get rid of? Now I'm really pushing my luck.
Yeah, I've never seen the prepended do. I'm really only familiar with include and extend.
Right. I'm now going to go back to self. Maybe I should have spent a little bit longer looking at, yeah, looking for a hash in there. I want target type. Oh, that's an enum. I'd rather it was a resolver, maybe, to keep things. No resolvers. How about a type? Browsers. Right. It's another. It's not being. Oh yeah, sorry, that's just a loop, isn't it? That's frustrating. Resolver. So, but again, the long and short of this is, I don't know if it's a quick win. Maybe it is for the right person. How are we doing for time wise? Okay, we've got 10 minutes. I'm determined to keep plugging away. So resolvers. Like, it might even just be that the engine that's used to create the documentation can't handle it, but maybe the code would actually compile and run fine. Probably not, but Yeah, I'm a little bit out of ideas, to be honest. Full path result. Yeah, I mean, absolutely, we could just copy it out and paste it into the individual files, but I feel like that's maybe fixing one problem and creating another. Shall I see if when you include, I'm sure when you include, you should have the, it should just basically be smushing these together, right? It should be smushing what's in here with what's in here. So the result of which, that one. Is it because it's a module instead of a class? Like, is that even? Well, now chat GPT might be my next person to ask. So I don't, the example I found, I don't think was very good, was it? Star hash. In abstract QL. That's just the const. Curious to know where that's. I wish I could do a grep, keep multiple greps open at the same time. Can I do that? Oh, maybe I can. That's defined in the base. So that doesn't help. Yeah, so this one here. Oh, included do. Yeah, it was a module, so I should turn it back to a module to initially. And then I think that used the self notation when it was. Be great if we make some progress, or even if we don't, I guess to get someone to explain why this was working. Marco suggests magic. Certainly, yeah. Get rid of it and try it again, but not convinced by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, I can't see that we're doing anything. We're defining it as self dot. Included too. see anything else. No, it's not something stupid where I need to define it before I include. Where did anything is that's got that. That is then used here. It doesn't have the included reference, does it? Seems to have taken longer. Or all path of the group. That's for find a group where just full path of the namespace, full path of the project. I think that's our. Would you say that's a win? So the only thing that I've just noticed is that I didn't check out master, but I can hopefully check it out without any repercussions. Moved all my changes. What I will do is I will create a branch. The issue is this one. I won't create a merge request. I'll just reference the branch. What's it? Specific. All right. That. Possibly should have skipped all these checks, but I guess it'll be interesting to see if I've violated any of our best practices while we're here. In while I will just getting there slowly. Still hasn't finished. Wow, my machine's going slow today. Markdown link, docs trailing spaces. I don't think they're going to fail because the docs were auto generated. So there's our branch. Awesome. I think we should be good to go. Thanks everyone for joining us. Daniel, any last minute things, or anyone else for that matter?
No, appreciate Lee walking through all that. And be cool to have some follow-up from Ayush on that to see where this ends up.
Absolutely.
landing.
You did a great job last week promoting some other stuff. Maybe I'll try and remember at least one. Pairing every Tuesday on Discord at 10:15 UTC, but we're also happy to do ad hoc sessions or schedule other sessions depending on your time zones and preference. Daniel, what else can you promote for us?
Definitely check out the events section on the Discord community to see everything else that we have scheduled. I know coming up, we're going to have Contributor Success Office Hour next week. I believe that's next Tuesday, to learn more about the Contributor Success team. And we should have a Twitter announcement coming out too with all the upcoming Office Hour events. And
Awesome.
as Lee's showing you here, here's a whole schedule coming up.
And I didn't do much in the way of notes, but we've got the full recording. And we'll see you at the next one. Thanks all.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.